guy here.
Yeah. What's his
name?
name?
It's a 3-word name. And he's also from a game. Remember that game I was telling you about, Under Killing Moon? Did I talk to you guys about that game?
Uh-huh.
They got him as a voice actor for it,
No
bro.
way. That's him?
Yes. James Earl Jones.
They
got him as a voice actor for this game from the 92. I'm telling you, on Steam, you gotta get this game. So, I know you got Steam.
Well, you know,
Under a Killing Moon. It's only like probably $5 or something. But get you're like a detective in the war zone of like in San Francisco, and it's like you have like a hover car, like. And then, like, you're trying to solve cases and stuff, but, like, your wife divorced you, like, she took the couches and shit. Like so... It's
like a crime noir.
Yeah, you're like, you're in all these calls, dude, it's hilarious. And then,
it's like every single, like, detective story ever told. Just like,
yeah. And she cheated on him with the upholstery guy.
Oh, my God. She took the couch. That shit's
or actually, no, this is so fucking hilarious, bro. And then, like, he has to go in the world.
He knows how to work with that carpet.
Yeah.
And we're live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back. Don't mind these guys, we're having a good time with them. We are back. Welcome back, everybody.
Listen, I really don't know what happened there. Things happened, okay? Things happened, but it's okay.
We're back. Welcome back, everybody. Today's topic is gambling with locals. And today we find out Vladimir has a gambling problem.
What?
Vladimir, are you gambling $600 in a month?
No.
Vladimir, what do you gamble?
No, I don't gamble every day.
It's become an intervention now. It's an intervention
It's
episode
an intervention.
with Buddyz.
I would say if I make my $200 goal per day, I want to, hang out a little bit, get some beers going with the homies, and, that's like $5 and then $15 of gambling. I play the Buffalo Machine game or that horsey game that they have at the D.
The Sigma Derby.
The Sigma Derby.
The Mad Hatter obviously puts his money into
Whoa.
Hey, knows it by name.
The Sigma. Hey.
That's no respect on that.
We're throwing Vladimir under the bus.
What? It's the fun little corner
That's a
game.
Sigma move, bro.
Remember
Sigma move.
You also had a system for, what is it called? What's the dice game called? It's not CeeLo, that's the hood version.
Oh, I definitely have a system for craps.
Craps.
You quit it. We got a system for craps. You gotta know when it's that heavy, and you gotta know when to just take it easy.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Foolproof system, right?
Yeah, no, that game will drive you nuts, man.
I don't know about foolproof, but historically, I'm definitely up hundreds.
When's the last time you played?
Yeah.
2 days ago? 3 days ago?
Yeah, no, it's true.
How often do you gamble a week?
Okay, so
More than he wants to admit.
So I'm unfortunately just like Vlad.
No, but he can't because he makes good money.
Well, he can't. Yeah, he can't.
He gets to do that.
Yeah.
So that said, I don't feel like I had been making good. Okay, so
Good gambling decision.
No. I don't feel like I had been making good enough money to actually justify going out and gambling. And so I haven't, from pretty much Halloween, Thanksgiving to the last couple of weeks, I haven't gone out because I didn't feel like I earned it. I didn't
make enough. The other night when I made, The other night when I made $600 in a day, I treated myself to $20 on just, all right, I'm going to go out and drink beers. And then another $20 for gambling. But if I don't make a bunch of money, I'm not doing it. Yeah. And even then, I'm one of those like, okay, that was my budget, and you stick to that shit.
Yeah, it's like 10% of what you made. That's not bad. 10% on yourself.
Less than 10%.
Yeah. Less than 10%, really. Because 400 would have been, 40.
Right.
But you also, the 20, you could have won money.
Right, and so okay, but the thing is that I'm more of I like to gamble for fun, kind of like the games that Vladimir was talking about. I love the rock, paper, scissors. Come on, you pay $5.
That's my game.
Yeah, he loves that. I love the Sigma Derby. The thing is, it's $5 at the Sigma Derby when you're putting in a quarter out of town and you've got beers. Damn, you can play for an hour for $10.
Wait, is the rock, paper, scissors game is a machine, or you're playing against a
dealer? It's a machine. Yeah, you play against a machine.
That'd be great if it was against a dealer. Ever watched
against a dealer would be fun.
Vegas Vacation? You ever watch Vegas Vacation? Where they go to like the really shitty casino and they have games like rock, paper, scissors? Wow.
But actual like people doing it?
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, I haven't seen that movie. It sounds funny though. I want to go watch all these Vegas movies.
I know there's like a lot of them.
I started to rewatch like the Vegas movies I've seen in the past as like a current resident to see if I have like a a different perspective of it now, which I do. It's like, oh, I've seen that before, been there before.
I know it's not. Yeah, it's a lot closer now.
Right, because when I moved out here, it was like the first time I ever visited as well, so I didn't really have a reference.
Yeah.
What's the most you guys have ever gambled? I've always wanted to know that.
For me, I think it's only been $200.
Okay, that's pretty reasonable.
I went up to 200 in the sense of like I was losing money. I still have the system, but it's with roulette and it's with a certain arcade. It's with a certain machine. Okay, at the M, or South Point, I mean. And anyway, but like I got to the point where I was like, okay, I lost $100, so I got another 100 out, and then just put that on black. Said, all right, let's just F it. Like hopefully I get my money back, and then I did. I got lucky. I even recorded it because like, oh yeah, if I win, I could be all hyped up like I knew it was gonna happen. You know what I mean? But basically, I had like 7 reds in a row, so I'm like, dude, I know it's gonna be black. So I was like, let me just try to get my money back. So I took 100 out, and I was like, I had to actually leave the machine. So I had to go to ATM real quick because obviously I didn't plan on losing. You know what I mean? I was like, my system, it will work. So I had to run to the machine. I'm like looking at the machine, looking at it, because I'm like probably like a good 20 feet away. So anyone could walk up to it. So I'm like trying to get that 20 real quick, and then I or 100. I mean, and then I run over there, and then I start recording it, and then like I get lucky and hit black. Ooh. And I'm like, that was stupid. That was like my reaction. I was like, because you need to have like 500 to do the plan. Yeah, I need a 500 cash to do it properly.
500 cash to do it properly.
Yeah, at least on that machine. But there's only 1 green. You know how some of them even have 3 greens?
Yeah, what is with that?
It just increases the odds for the house to win.
The more
so like the one I was playing might have been like a 47% chance to win or something like that. But like the other ones, it could be like 46.5 or 46% because they got like extra double zeros and stuff. Don't come in the exact percent, but it's basically like a 1% or 0.5% difference. Yeah.
Oh, I can't play table games for shit, man. I know I'll lose.
Well, this is a computer game. I mean, this is on a computer roulette.
Oh.
It's a computer roulette, yeah, electronic. So it's like faster too. It's like bing, bing, bing. But you can change your credits to like different denominations: 25 cents, 50 cents, $1 or $2 per credit. But you can only bet up to 99 credits.
Right.
So I did 99 credits actually. I don't know if I actually was able to do 100. I might have did 99 at $1 a piece. That was my bet. And like so, theoretically, I could bet up to $400. I think if I do $2 credits at 99. No, that was two. No, that'd be. Well, no, that would be $200, $196.
The only time I played the machines was like my first year in Vegas when I was like visiting all the new casinos for the first time, and so I would something that I would do is if I was walking by the slots, if I saw a slot that had like a theme of like a movie from my childhood, like
that's how they get
like
you.
Sandlot or something, right? I'd put $20 in the machine and play until just play for a few minutes. And I mean, a lot of times it ended up doing me well, right? I'll leave with like $30, $35. Sometimes I'll lose the 20. Yeah. But it was just a cool way for me to experience all these new casinos for me being in Vegas for the first time. But I haven't done that in 7 years now. Yeah. I don't think I can do slots anymore.
How do you feel about craps?
Never played it.
Oh gosh.
Never played blackjack. I mean, I wanted to be a professional poker player when I was a teenager. I haven't played
$20 for later.
I haven't played one game of poker since I've been out here.
Supposedly, Mad Hatter played a lot of poker when he came out here.
Yeah.
No. Before I came out here.
Cause I thought it was you and a buddy that used to play a lot.
Oh,
not out here though. Not living out here though.
So he lives out here now.
That's funny.
We don't hang out. But yeah, when I moved out here, I stopped.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to. Okay, so we used to drive out to. What was that casino? Morongo.
Oh yeah, I know Morongo.
Yeah. So
that's in Cali. Yeah.
Right. So in California, you only need to be 18 to gamble at a casino.
What?
Is that on a reservation?
So I had
Native American. Yeah, Indian reservation.
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't that big of a thrill coming here.
You can't drink though, but.
You can't drink, but you can absolutely sit at that poker table and act like a cocky teenager. And the old men definitely frown upon you.
So I used to play in high school when I wanted to be a professional. I used to go to these underground spots in New York where you like ring a bell. You have to be with someone who was like who the owners knew, and so like there was this camera shining right on you, and you're like buzzed in. And it's just like this little like underground casino with a bunch of poker tables, and you can play cash games. tournaments. So I did pretty well in a couple of tournaments. Never really got to the cash game because I didn't have like the bankroll to compete with these fucking gamblers. This is like when poker really started to blow up because they started airing it on ESPN, right? And this became a fucking phenomenon. Fucking Chris Moneymaker.
I remember Moneymaker, yeah, because he started from nothing too.
Yeah, bro, you won a satellite online, and
like
so
and then another satellite,
and the highest pool at the time in the World Series of Poker, like over $1 million at the time. And so like everybody, I've been playing poker since I was 5, and so now that everyone else is jumping on, it's just giving me like so many more games, and that's when I got introduced to the underground. So it starts to kind of build up a bankroll, kind of do a little well, but all of a sudden, like now you have all these places that I used to frequent, and starting getting robbed by shotgun. You know, because it's an illegal underground poker fucking.
The movies are real.
Room. Yeah, and so it's just you just have to stop at that point, right? I didn't gamble with my life.
One of the funnest things I remember it being younger, and so at the time I was coaching kid, as coaching ice hockey, youth sports, where parents are signing their kids up for $2,000 to $3,000. So when you're the coach, so you get treated pretty damn well. So I got invited to hang out with all the older, like what I would call my mentors, and they were all, let's say 30 to 50. And we got to play poker almost every other weekend in the garage house party thing. Damn, I looked forward to that. And that kind of got me into it because it was the first time I was like, oh, shit, I'm a man. I am hanging out with other men and I'm gambling and 18, they're going to let you drink with them because they already look at you like an adult, and most of them don't even realize that I was under 21 because I was doing an adult's job. Yes, that was some of like the best times for me. It wasn't, at 18, 19, it wasn't so much going out hanging out with the boys on the Friday. It was that Saturday night hanging out with all these old geezers playing poker because I knew there was going to be gambling, beer, and pizza. And when you're 19, there's not much better.
Oh, man. Pizza.
Yeah, there's not much better.
Pizza sounds really good.
I know.
Pizza sounds so fire.
Not that overpriced pizza place in the downtown. Oh, I don't want to get too political.
Overpriced pizza, yeah, man. Pizza's good, though. There's some people there's this guy that eats a pizza every day.
That's me.
Every day.
Yeah, there's a guy that legitimately eats a cheese pizza only every day.
Oh.
Like doing this today, did it for like 10 years or something. He's like, yeah, anyway.
I saw like this Vice like short doc on this one dude who can only eat pizza. So like he was just
it's the greatest food.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Food, right?
Yeah,
like it was the only thing that he could eat. Everything else is just was like absolutely disgusting to him. He was trying to,
there's another guy
to wean off of it.
Oh, he actually was. There's another guy that he was on mac and cheese only.
Right.
Had to have mac and cheese.
Why?
He's from like the UK, and like always mac and cheese.
And beans.
But speaking of the gambling, though, have you guys seen the movie Rounders?
It's one of my favorites.
If you have not seen that movie, you have to see that movie.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, that movie is so sick. But that's like what reminded me of when you said you're going to that spot. They got the camera on you, and you're going into like a little place where you open it up, and big party foul behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes,
it's so cold.
In front of the scenes.
That's not behind the scenes. Y'all see this?
Did you ever watch Las Vegas?
The movie?
Yeah, we live it.
No, the TV show.
No.
They don't have it on. You can't find it anywhere, so you either watched it or didn't. And
TV show Las Vegas.
Okay, so imagine across the street from where Mandalay Bay is, there's that big open lot. And they bought the rights to use that lot for a TV show. Like, they didn't buy, but they had to talk to the owner, say, hey, we want to make a TV show. And so they made a fake casino, and it was called Las Vegas. And it was like 10 seasons long because they would show you like the ins and outs.
It's like on TNT or something?
Maybe.
Like one of those like basic cable channels?
Yeah. But it lasted a while. And that kind of inspired me to ironically move down here. And now you can't even find that show on TV or streaming it anywhere. Such a bummer. And now you guys watch that?
And we could be the numbnuts to get people to move to Vegas just by hearing us what we talk about. Imagine like, oh yeah, I heard these guys on this podcast. It made me want to move to Vegas.
That could happen. That could happen one day.
Eventually,
Like,
I think.
We are going to be responsible for our own inflation and our own, getting increasing the prices out here.
Yeah, rent increases and it's
You guys just come and gamble with us. We'll show you how to gamble properly.
So
How about we show you that?
How about I'll start it out and I'll let you guys close and I'll do the final close. So let's go with like advice to tourists, since that's what we're talking about.
Sure, yeah.
You know, I mean, I feel like that's where you were going with that, right? So if I was to going to give advice to a tourist, let's start with these and then you guys finish. So I would set a budget. I would never play a game that I don't know. Like, okay, so if I don't know how to play the game,
The number one rule if I don't know how to play a game is to look the game up. So number one, set a budget. Second, goddamn, you gotta learn the games. The next one, here's the big one. When you get drunk, don't chase the loss. Don't go to the goddamn ATM machine and lose your budget. You cannot lose your budget. And holy fuck, if you're here for a whole week, you gotta take breaks. And here's the biggest one if we're getting the dad advice, you cock. Did you know at places like Resort World, if you get the player's card, you park for free? But you gotta join the players club to get the perks. You should never ever gamble or be in a casino if you don't have their player's card. Oh, and lastly, have fun. And when it stops being fun, fucking stop.
gambling.
Yeah, how did I do?
Yeah, no, you did great. Yeah, it reminds me of my first time when I came to Vegas to party. I was 22 years old. I was like, dude, it was awesome. But like, definitely, like what I would tell myself then is like, well, first off, get a hotel by the Strip. And I don't even know exactly where it was, but I just know I would get a hotel by the Strip. I want to be within at least 10 minutes walking. And there's a couple like relatively cheap hotels like by the Strip. And when I say Strip, okay, what I'm actually talking about is like say Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard. That's what I would say, like around there. That way you can go south, you go north on the Strip, and you're kind of like in the middle. I would do that. And as far as a budget, I would definitely like if you should be somewhat responsible with your money, and I wouldn't blow like your whole savings. I would just have like you set whatever your budget is. You're like maybe it's $1,000. See, the money parts are relative, but just like don't waste all your money gambling. Like I like Mad Hatter's idea is like don't like play a game you don't know how to play. I would say maybe play the game, but only spend like $10 on it. You know what I mean?
Learn it.
Yeah,
Google
like
it. It's not that hard to Google a game nowadays.
especially now. It's like like we didn't have smartphones when I was 22. So, like it wasn't. Yeah, I don't even know what I had. It was like you had Razor, dude. You're like,
Had
oh,
a
cool.
flip phone.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There was no, oh yeah, I'm gonna learn how to learn this game. But yeah, and just have a good time. And like the thing is, Vegas is just whatever you want to do. Like I know someone that lives out here, and he's like, it would take you 2.5 years if you went out every single day to do everything. That was his opinion, and that's like literally everything.
There's 4.
But I don't know if that's every
different
day.
restaurants here.
Or maybe every weekend. Yeah, it's like there's so much crap. There you go, 4,000 restaurants.
200,000 hotel rooms. Crazy.
Yeah, I would definitely like to spend money on I'd have a lot of good food. Like definitely go out to dinner every night that you're here. There's a lot of like you could go and find the deals, but a lot of times you don't need. Like we find the deals because we're local. Right? I'm trying to eat this like every day. Like remember Mad Hatter? We would go like the steakhouse like every day for like 2 weeks straight, and like we would just like buy like double steaks, and it was like because it was like $7 prime rib, but it was like way on the north side, and like nobody went there, dude. Trust me. Like locals didn't go there. Yeah, like they were happy. They give you like a whole T-bone. With I don't know, we got or you could do like the T-bone and veggies or whatever. You get the prime rib and whatever, but like it was bomb, and it's only like it was like $7, $8.
Friday and Saturday. But if you go there on a Friday or Saturday, it's like $11.99 still.
Yeah.
There was one time, to his credit, we found a food deal, which that's what you're trying to say is we got all 3 of them. It was $7.99, $8.99, $9.99 for a 16-ounce New York steak. $8.99 prime rib, and then it was like $7.99 for the beef stroganoff, and I'm like, fuck, I guess I'll get a beef stroganoff today.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was one time we literally ordered everything and ate it all, but then but you could just go for one thing and like $7-8 and you get like a good meal. You know what I mean? And yeah, I would recommend that. Just eat out every day. to something you like.
If you live in
Anyway,
Vegas, I do live out, or I do eat out every day. It's almost, how do you not? So much good food. And it almost costs the same. Okay, so sometimes I even think it costs cheaper. Because
I don't know about that.
There's been times where I've gone to the grocery store and I tried to eat healthy or proper. I spent $180.
Well, eating healthy is more expensive.
Yeah, but then when I go out to eat, and if I eat healthy, guess what? I spent about $200 that week. So for about $20 more, I didn't have to prepare a damn thing for me.
Yeah, so you're like 800. That'd be like $800 a month on
I'd say
food.
that's not a lot, but that's the cost of healthy living. I know I can go buy ramen and noodles every day, but that's not healthy.
Nah, don't do that.
That's not healthy.
You could live on $2 a day on food if you wanted to do that route.
Yeah, but I didn't say I wanted to do that.
I think if you're coming to Vegas, don't gamble. Invest in Silicon Bank.
Help them out.
Yo, that bank got bought out, actually. No, it's good again. It's solvent. Yeah, it's solvent. It's fine.
I think, I mean, I don't gamble like too much, but if you do want to gamble, I think like downtown has a lot of good options for, and maybe like in the outer skirts, like off strip, have better options for gambling at a lower minimum. Right, El Cortez during the weekday, it's $5 minimum for roulette. You want to treat it like any other experience, right? Like you said, set a budget, maybe even a time limit, right? Because sometimes you can be sitting at the same table with $100 for 4 hours, and that's a little bit too much too. So, small minimum for your budget. Treat it like if you're going out to eat or going out to a show. Don't spend any more than that. And yeah, just I would say play a table game. Like roulette, like that's my go-to, because you can make a lot of money. You can make a little bit of money spread for a few hours, and you get free drinks. And if you're hanging out with your friends, or you can meet new friends at the table.
Facts.
I think, honestly, it's been a couple of years. I think I do want to. I think I have been itching a little bit to gamble a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I might do it soon.
Behind the scenes, we will do it live. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe, if you guys are that lucky.
That's a good one, Melissa. I like it there.
I would say the best thing you would want to do is you want to surround yourself with good buddies around you. Go to your favorite little 21 blackjack game. That one's pretty fun, and just have a good time. Drinks are free if you spend over $20, right? And it's that nice little experience that you get to be with your homies and just have a good time and vibe out, ride out, But of course, keep it in moderation. It's the point is you're there for a good time, not a long time. You're a tourist after all. You want to make sure.
I didn't know to say it like that.
I know. Well, the thing is, it's Vegas. And the games that are
I'll show you a good short time.
The games there are there to pull you in. Like you even said, there's some games that are like, oh, that's from my childhood. That's the Christmas and the Cranks. I'm gonna put $100 in that.
It's a Home Alone game.
No, that one I fall for that one all the time. But man, that one honestly, it's the way that I see it is good buddies, good drinks, pursuit of happiness.
Someone do the end.
But happiness is relative, whatever. And another thing is, I had a really juicy point. I
just like that prime rib.
The prime rib
for $8.99.
For $8.99 here in
And,
downtown.
Undisclosed casino. You didn't
Oh,
tell
the
us
one
the
that
spot, right?
No, I didn't say.
I think it's
That's for the email subscriber list. You know what I'm saying? You gotta DM us. We'll give you 95% of it all for free, but the last 5% you gotta show us some serious for that information.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No, because there's a lot. I don't want to blow up all the spots. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Let me see.
That's for our inclusive behind the scenes.
When we're talking about blowing up all the spots, is that like taking a shit in every hotel?
You're totally out of your element right now.
And I steal their toilet paper when I lose.
No, he wanted to know where that casino was, and I was telling that we used to go to a lot. I was like, oh yeah, we'll tell you.
No,
I was like, oh y'all gotta sign up for the email. Yeah, they're not gonna want to go
there.
there. No, trust me, they're not gonna want to go there.
And if you're feeling tipsy, make sure you tip the person that's handing out the cards. Because if you win big, that person that's dealing the cards looks pretty depressed. I'm not gonna lie, everybody looks depressed when they're dealing cards, and I'm like, wow, you know what? I'm probably gonna give you one little chip. Buy yourself a little ice cream at the end of your shift.
They actually pull those, including with at least casinos where I know Well, I know people. But yeah, like all the dealers, they split all of the tips. They get I think the house gets a percentage.
Oh, what?
Or something like that. And then like even it's included with like from even the high roller tables.
Facts.
So
Most of them do it that way. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, sometimes
That's
it's just the high rollers making like the large majority of the tips.
Should I just
but
slide $5 behind the dealer and be like, hey, don't tell nobody?
that's if you want to get them fired.
Oh.
Respect their living.
That's true. That's true. Oh man.
Like they'll probably the thing is they'll probably still accept it, but it's on camera, so they'll report it later.
They all
Like
look
yeah,
depressed.
no, they again, it's their living. It's the risk versus reward.
Why do they look all dead inside whenever they're dealing cards? They're like.
You ever been to dealer school?
And I'm like, damn.
Well, no, they're concentrating too, though, because like they make mistakes every day, actually, and like it costs them money. But it's like there's just different levels of the mistake. Like where it's like
You can only make
some are
so
forgiving,
many.
and yeah, because like my brother is actually a dealer, so it's like all the time.
What,
He's
they
like
get
he's like
beaten in the
literally
back?
every day
What the-
you're expected though. You're actually expected to make a certain amount of mistakes every day, and then just some of them it's like it.
What do they allow? It's somewhere almost like 3 to 5%.
Well, I don't know how there's a punishment or how that works or whatever, but it's just sometimes it's just like if like sometimes a car could just actually flip and show up, and it's like these guys are in a hand. You know what I'm saying? And then
Well,
it's
that
like,
happened once.
So it's like, but that's
Nothing you
like
can do
they're
about
pissed
that.
off, like they're not happy for whatever
Right.
So like that could be, and then there's like so that's like a bigger mistake. A smaller mistake might be like maybe you actually burn 2 cards or something.
Do they
I don't
get
know. Like
beat-
I don't know all the mistakes, but that would
Right.
be one, right? If you burn 2 instead of just 1 and then turn, like dude,
Giving
you like
somebody
totally
too
change the
many
whole.
chips or too little chips.
And then stuff like that. Yeah,
they're always watching.
What, did they get beaten up in the back? Like when no one, like
Well-
what happens?
Well,
Like,
this is a small.
It's not
This
all
is this
Vegas.
is only a card club. This is not a casino.
Yeah.
This is all they do is card games, Hold'em, Omaha, like the basic poker games. Like they don't do that many games, like 5 or 6 games, something like that.
blink twice if you're
But,
under, like shit. Like, are you good? If you're in trouble, like, oh my god, like that's the type of thing I'm looking at. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh
I'm blinking twice.
He's like, help me, help,
Nobody can tell.
help me.
Yeah, but I'm just like you said, moderation, big word. We got rent tomorrow, come on.
It's the key to life.
Scott, you
Even
want
too
to
much
do the
water will kill you.
outro then? I see you getting ready for it.
All right. Well, I hope you all had a wonderful time. This was part 2 in our epic adventures telling you about gambling. And of course, we had yours truly over here. We had Will. He's the writer, the storyteller, the hood escapee. All kinds of adventures there. You can find Will on Instagram at I'm at Risk. And here we got Vlad. He's the one for a greener future. He's a technology nerd, loves all that good stuff with SLR Tech. And you can find him on Instagram at Dank Latvian, DANK_LATVIAN. I'm Scott Warner. You can find me at scottwarner.org. And our host today is the Mad Hatter, and you can find him at MaddHatterTv.com. You can find him on what's your IG? Is
Mad Hatter.
Mad Hatter
With
TV.
2 Ds. because
Yeah, it's 2
sometimes
Ds.
1 D isn't enough. Am I right,
Oh my
ladies?
god.
Yeah, Mad Hatter, MaddHatterTv. TV. Looking forward to catching you in the next episode. Subscribe to all of our channels. We got more content coming soon.
1.
Welcome to Talking to Yourself, a podcast about self-reflection. For me, the best way to talk to myself is through writing. When I started writing about my life, I found my mental and emotional health improved drastically. I write about my day and read it a few days later. It was like having a conversation with myself. I'd see the little things that caused me to have a bad day or a really good day. I'm currently working on a memoir, which is a collection of my writings from the last 10 to 15 years. And through this process, I have like notebooks and notebooks that I have to go through and transcribe. So I figured it'd be a good time for me to go through some of my old writings while I compile my book and, talk about them, reflect on them, maybe discuss a little bit about on what they meant to me at the time, what they mean to me now, and how I can improve on them. So this first piece I'm going to read, bear with me because I'm reading these for the first time in a long time. And I might stumble a little bit. There will be grammatical errors and repetitions. But this first piece is called Fucking Roaches. They say to enjoy the little things in life. Yeah? Whoever said that didn't grow up in the hood, where it's little things in your day that spiral you into madness. It was one of those nights. I wake up from a sharp pain in my gut. I'm sore, dehydrated, with only 2 hours until I have to wake up for work. I have to piss now. I stumble to the bathroom with drunken precision, slightly avoiding the edge of the kitchen table as I step over a loose screw on the ground. I dodge a sock, but kick the cat's water dish. Fuck it, the floor will dry by the morning. Nothing else matters except the sweet release of my bladder. I flick the light into my bathroom, and there they are, in plain sight, 2 roaches mounting one another, doggy style, on the bristles of my toothbrush. I can't tell if they're feeding off the moisture of my brush or breeding. I stare in disbelief as these 2 roaches violate my entire existence. No. Nah. These roaches are not fucking on my toothbrush right now. I Google it. Roaches do in fact fuck, which angers me beyond all reason since I can't tell you the last time I felt the warm embrace of a woman. Is this my fucking life? Do I fucking live in a world where I have to witness a roach get more pussy than me on what I used to clean my teeth with every morning? Is my bathroom the equivalent of a pay-by-the-hour motel where my toothbrush doubles as a fucking twin-size bed? What else am I gonna find when I turn on the lights? A couple of mice mainlining heroin behind my trash can? A couple of spiders spinning meth by the living room couch? True story. I don't sleep. I can't sleep. I watch the sunrise over the window telling me it's time to get ready for work, but I can't seem to get out of bed to face the day. I skip the shower because I can't go to the bathroom right now for obvious reasons. I rinse my mouth out with Colgate, but my teeth still feel dirty. I feel dirty, violated, and angry. The train is late, which means I'm late. My phone is dead, so I'm forced to listen to the dull, meaningless conversations of strangers. The train finally arrives. My knees are shaking, but there are no seats in the car, and I desperately need to sit. We cram in, all trying to get to work and school on time. I feel a man's penis pressed against my thigh. I swear if I feel it throb, I'm gonna fucking wild out. I hate life. My mouth is dry, my teeth feel coarse, and I can't shake the thought of bugs banging on my bristles. Roaches are invasive little bastards. They are the universal sign of uncleanliness. But what separates them from us? Here we are crawling out of every crevice of our neighborhood at the first sign of light, sprawling out, walking all over one another, mindlessly heading to another location for food and shelter and community. Of what? Out of what? Habit? Necessity? The workday is long. Usual occurrences irritate me more than usual. I'm distant, annoyed, and angry. It's noticeable. My coworker asks what's wrong, but he isn't ready for my response. How many roaches have you ever killed? Fuck, I guess I'd killed thousands. I wiped out whole fucking goddamn societies off the face of the universe with a fucking raid bomb. Mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, all gone at the snap of my fucking finger without a slither of remorse. Is that what separates us from the animals? The idea that we mourn our dead? I mean, do we really mourn our dead? There are over 7 billion of us on this small planet. 5 billion too many if you ask the experts. What if the Earth is the bathroom in the apartment we call the solar system, and every single one of us is a nasty, disgusting roach bursting from every electrical socket, destroying, eating, shitting, reproducing, and expanding until your nice apartment is inhabitable? Thousands of us die every day. No one cares about Raj, refugee escaping genocide, or the newborn in Chicago suckling at his attic mother's tits. And why would you care? It plays no relevance in your day-to-day. Wake up, shower, go to work, hang out, find love, get married, have kids. Teach them to do the same fucking thing. We're no better than the fucking roaches. At what point can you say any real thought about anything with substance goes through anyone's head? We're all just insects fucking one another on the Earth's toothbrush. The rant made me late from lunch. Being late twice in one day isn't a good look. My boss talks to me as if I'm a child, in a condescending, all-knowing tone. I should know better, he says. I should be better, he demands. Except he doesn't know me or my struggle. No one should be required to perform at full capacity after witnessing the reproduction process of insects on something you put in your mouth every day. I stay quiet because I know what I have to say will get me fired. I stay silent because I can feel the rage tingle in my fists. I want to break something, and although I see this manager in front of me as nothing, he can be broken too. My pocket vibrates, telling me my drugs are ready to be picked up as soon as my shift is over. I don't have the money, but I deserve them after a day like this. I need an escape. I need peace and happiness, even if it's chemically induced. I drink and party hard. The night fades into a blur with every drink and every line. I laugh and cheer with my friends. Just one more shot, I say 5 times. Just one more bump to feel happy until the whole bag is gone. I grab a beer and everything goes black. I wake up to the sound of my alarm. I'm running late for work. Again. My head is throbbing, my tongue feels like sandpaper, and there's an unidentified puddle of liquid on my floor. I lose my balance and fall into my door, trying to put my jeans on. I'm still drunk. What the fuck happened last night? I sprint to the bathroom while trying to figure out how and when I got home. What did I fucking do? I turn the faucet, splash water in my face, squirt toothpaste in my toothbrush, and scrub my tongue and teeth vigorously. Fucking roaches! So I wrote that. Aggressive piece. Shortly after I found 2 roaches fucking on my toothbrush. Yeah, it was traumatizing to say the least. And yeah, and in fact, the piece is supposed to show how cyclical my days are. I have a bad day. I hate my job. I get angry. I go out and over-celebrate, black out, drink too much, party too much, wake up late, and so my day begins just as terribly as the day before. I like this. I like this piece, and I think it's an accurate reflection of what was going on with me at the time. I wrote this, say maybe like 2016, 2015, and it's right around the time where I was really starting to get my shit together and noticing how, like, the little day-to-day things that I did ended up adding up in the long run to cause me to have bad days. So, like, not every single moment in this day was terrible, but but every single small thing just snowballed into a worse event. Like, you know, I had went out the night before and gotten too drunk, got home late, I woke up late, now I'm on a late train, I get to work late, my boss is upset, so now I'm upset, and it's just like this cyclical process of me making small bad decisions and then really bad decisions at the end of the night, to continue my bad days. And the fucked up part is that I really forgot to buy a new toothbrush. Like if I was so upset that these roaches were fucking with my toothbrush that I decided to go out and spend the rest of my money on drugs and alcohol, black out again, and then put that same toothbrush in my mouth the next morning. I have a toothbrush cover now, so alright. Fucking roaches. Living in a senseless world is the next piece. This is actually written around the same time, around when I'm really starting to pay attention to my emotions, to my day, like the little things I do day to day, and like I'm really trying to do better. So, living in a senseless world. Payday was 3 days away. I sat in the cafeteria, envious of the horde of employees walking by with their overflowing plates as I fiddled with my phone. "Hey, Will, what are you eating today?" My coworker asked. "I'm not really hungry. Maybe just a snack," I replied, and looked back down at my bank app. 45 cents in my checking and 51 cents in my savings account. I hadn't eaten since yesterday. I wanted to be wiser with my money, but Mom had been laid off a year before because of the recession. All of the bills fall on me now. It was the first time the stories in the news actually affected me. I had no money to be wise with. Every dollar was spent before I cashed my check, and some still didn't get paid on time. Fuck a data plan, I guess. After moving every penny from my sad savings to my checking account, I had $1.06 left to my name. I couldn't help but feel the number represented my actual worth. I tried to psych myself into thinking I'd be okay. This is nothing compared to real starvation. Only 7 more hours until I'm home. What's in my fridge? 2 slices of ham, 1 slice of cheese, an egg or 2, a slice of bread. If my mom didn't make lunch anyway. Anything from the bottom shelf was most likely dead from getting caught in the stream of black tar that developed from steadily dripping milk, soup, sauces, and loose vegetables. It was well hidden beyond mounds of lifeless potatoes and shriveled tomatoes, forming a valley around a river of molasses where you'd find It was well hidden beyond mounds of lifeless potatoes, shriveled tomatoes, forming a valley around a river of molasses where you'd find mummified roaches frozen in time waiting to be discovered. Cup of noodles. I have at least 2 beef-flavored ones in my cupboard. They aren't as good as the chicken-flavored ones, but beggars can't be choosers, right? The idea of having food soon brought a calming smile to my face. My stomach growled loud enough for me to worry if the group of ladies sitting beside me could hear. I cleared my throat, embarrassingly trying to disguise the long haul of bodily neglect. What's a bigger turnoff? Passing gas in a public place or not being able to afford lunch? They say money is the #1 cause of divorce, which can only mean love isn't an option for me. How many times can I take a girl for a walk in a park until she wants to do something that costs money I don't have? I dug deep into the back of my mind trying to figure out my next step. If only my money were in cash, I'd be able to buy a couple of bags of chips to hold me over until then. I searched my pockets for loose change or dollars I may have missed with no luck. I stole and ate the orange that was sitting in the employee fridge unclaimed for 2 weeks in secrecy yesterday. Wait, muffins are 99 cents. I beat the table with my fist triumphantly as I made my way to the cafe. It would hold me over for the rest of my shift. I reached in my pocket and grabbed my debit card to save time, but of course, 4 people are in line ahead of me. I nervously looked at the lonely blueberry muffin sitting next to a $3 brownie. I watched in desperation as they placed their orders, hoping no one buys the only thing I can afford. Lattes, triple shot of espresso over ice, iced coffee with room for milk. God respect the coffee industry for being the drug of choice for the working class. I'm surprised corporate America hasn't backed meth yet. The last person orders a tea, and alas, relief is only a moment away, and I get to order my lunch. The cashier rings up my muffin, and he swipes my card, and I realize I forgot to account for tax. It actually costs $1.08. I know what's gonna happen, but it's too late to stop it. Everyone online watches my debit decline for a fucking $1.08. I won't be able to eat today for a couple of pennies. I grab my card and walk away as everyone's eyes burn through me. They're judging me. They know how poor I am, and they all know my worth. My face burns red, my vision blurs as my heart sinks to my stomach. I explain I used the wrong card and need to get the other one out of my locker, but I know there is no other one, and I'm sure everyone knows too. I walk away as my stomach tightens compactly around my ribs. I clench my fist angrily. I struggle to hold back tears of rage as I make my way out of the cafeteria. Is this my life? Is this fucking real? Do I deserve this? What kind of fucking person am I that I can't even afford a goddamn muffin? I pass by this dude throwing out half a cheeseburger, and it takes all of my power not to punch him in his face. I'm not violent. I'm hungry. I grab a free coffee from the break room and bum a cigarette from the janitor. I had been trying to quit. I pull deeply and angrily into Newport, trying to curb my empty stomach as I contemplate how I ended up in such a shit life. If only I had just done better when I was younger. If only I weren't a fuck up most of my life. No matter how hard I fucking try, things don't seem to change. Maybe I should just cop a G from Tone on the arm and move a couple of dubs of Molly. I'd have $60 by tomorrow, or 20 if I don't get high. I'll probably get high. No, I shouldn't. I won't. I have work in the morning. I overhear a couple of white 20-something women rocking I overhear a couple of white 20-something women rocking Ray-Ban glasses talk about Kim Kardashian and Kanye's relationship as they puff on their all-white cigarettes. This is the fucking world I live in. This is my reality where Kim can be fucking famous for fucking, where a man can be a millionaire for putting balls through a net. Zuckerberg can sell all of my personal information to advertisers. Politicians turn a blind eye toward Wall Street for playing Russian roulette with the economy and get a fucking bailout in the billions, but I make $4 too much to get health insurance and food stamps. Meanwhile, I stand here trying to get my life together and become a contributing member of society, but can't buy a fucking blueberry muffin. Everything seems upside down, but it doesn't have to be this way. It can be so much simpler and peaceful for everyone. I flick my cigarette and let my anger go. I've been through worse. This isn't the first time I've been hungry, and it won't be the last. I'll eat the most delicious bowl of instant soup I've ever had in a few hours. Payday will only be 2 days away. I'll buy a fucking double whopper and make love to it with my mouth. Why stress things when it's obvious no one gives a fuck about my 2 cents? So this is something I actually felt often in my life, where how much money I had in my pocket or my bank account was a direct reflection of like how I felt about myself. Like my worth, my self-worth was tied to my financial situation, and yeah, at the time I was working the same place for fucking roaches. I was training to be an emergency action planner for a high-rise office building. The building I worked for had 11 floors, and all 11 floors were rented out by this one of the biggest advertising agencies in the world, Ogilvy and Mather, and it was a really good paying job if you worked for that company, and they had their own cafeteria and cafe, and so like I was surrounded by people like not in my tax bracket, like in a tax bracket above me, and they always seemed to be so much happier than me and more well fed and better dressed, and meanwhile I was there pinching pennies to be able to afford a muffin. And at the time I was doing like everything right. I was going to school. I had just made full time at this gig. Actually, a little bit more than full time. I was working 50 hours a week, so I got to get rid of my my second job, and the drinking decreased, the drug use decreased. I was more productive. I was writing, and still all it took was maybe one day of splurging too much, or the end of the month when like the rent and all of the bills hit, where I would just go like these days with like really nothing in my pockets, and it was heavy on me. It was heavy on me, and at times like caused me to make even worse decisions, like considering buying drugs to sell, but then like also acknowledging like you tried to sell drugs before and you pretty much either just broke even or lost money because I would do them or give them away. I love the title "Living in the Senseless World" because I'm lacking 2 cents to buy this muffin, and then at the end, because my card declined for 2 pennies. Why stress things when it's obvious no one gives a fuck about my 2 cents? And even then, right? It's not like just how I feel about myself. I think it's about like how people feel about me. Like, why would people listen to me if I'm broke? Like, I can't afford a muffin. Like, what? Like, I wouldn't be able to contribute to these people's conversations. Like, they're upper middle class. They're making this amount of money. Like they've done all the right things, or at the very least, they've had all the right things provided to them. I mean, that's how I felt at the time. I don't feel like that anymore. Because I think it's a misconception that money buys happiness. I think things are less stressful when you have money. There's fewer things you have to worry about if you have money, like making rent, making your bills, being able to afford gas to get to work, being able to fix your car if it breaks down. But I don't think you're completely exempt from a fulfilling, happy life with little money. I think some of the happiest times in my life and experiences have been when I've been relatively broke. I've tried to make up for. I've tried to make up for not being able to afford certain experiences with different experiences. Like, one of my favorite things to do when I was writing this was when it rains, like during the spring, summertime, fall, maybe sometimes winter. I would like to go up to my local park and line the grass during a thunderstorm. A lot of my friends used to come hang out with me in my apartment during like these big storms, like blizzards or hurricanes, and even on clear days, like I'll take them to the park and we'd like play in the jungle gym, swing on the swings, and those ended up being like some of like my really cherished memories with my friends. Like going to the beach 2:00 in the morning under a full moon, swimming at night. That's my 2 cents on experiences. All right, let's go on to the next one. This one's gonna be a little different. This one's gonna be short. Solid shit. So this is about when I was in my early 20s, working at I believe a movie theater. I was working at the movie theater. 2009, 2010. Some of the most wildest and debauchery-filled moments in my life. Like blacking out 4 nights a week. Okay, this one's called Solid Shit. It's been maybe 3 months since I've had a solid shit. I guess that's what happens when you border on blackout drunk 5 times a week and only feed yourself fast food. It's been a constant battle between cocaine constipations and vodka mud butt. I'm either shooting blanks or detonating liquid diarrhea bombs so powerful I have to take off my shirt in public restrooms to protect my clothes from the splash. Have you ever had to clean off your lower back from your own shit in a fucking Burger King on your way to work? I've been sitting on this toilet for An hour and a half, pissing muddy, grainy goo out of my ass. I'm sweating, cursing, kneeling. I'm sweating, cursing, kneeling over, praying to a God I've lost faith in. What did I do to deserve this? What went wrong? I spot a pregnant roach out from underneath me toward the bathroom sink. I don't have the energy or will to try to stomp on it. I watch it dodge a loose screw sticking out of a rip in the linoleum. Where the fuck are all these screws coming from? We don't fix shit here. Not for a long time. I've been shitting on this toilet for 18 years. I jerked off on this toilet in the same exact spot. Every day after school, I'd come in here to be alone, to quiet the noise and escape everyone talking at me but never listening. The bathroom was the only place I could be alone. It may be the only time I'm ever alone now. Am I alone though? If I'm texting someone or scrolling through Snapchat? When I was 9, I'd sit in here an hour too long, lost inside a Goosebumps book. I'd wait too long to wipe and would end up having to rinse the crust off in the shower. Have I always been this disgusting? I can't remember the last time I read a book or flipped through the pages of a magazine. I scroll aimlessly, mindlessly, treading through post after insignificant post, picture and meme. Alright, this one's incomplete.
It's not incomplete. He stopped reading.
So this one's interesting because, again, like this is definitely a reflection of what I was going through at the time. Working in a movie theater, spending most of my money on alcohol and drugs. So a lot of the food I eat during the day, during like my 9 to 10 hour shifts at the movie theater, like 4 times a week, was like, you know, like the movie theater food. Like I would come in, concession would give me a hot dog, and then for lunch I'd have like nachos and cheese, cups and popcorn and soda all day. And then if I had money, I'd go to the local bodega, and we'd call it like the bodega special. We'd get like a beef patty with cheese that they heat up in the microwave, and then one of those like, you know, pre-cooked packaged cheeseburgers. And I remember the first time thinking about my bowel movements, right? And realizing it's been over 3 months since I've actually had a solid bowel movement. It's concerning, right? They say like if like well, my urine wasn't any better. I used to say if the color of your urine is a reflection of your health, then I might already be dead. And I mean, not, but definitely like slowly killing myself in my insides, between like the dark orange piss and either not being able to take a shit, or yeah, like really just it being just peeing out of my ass, for lack of a better term. And I remember when it hitting me, like realizing that for the first time, because like everything's go, right? You see, from like fucking roaches. I'm waking up late. I'm running out of the house. I'm not really paying attention to my body, right? I'm at work now. I'm just trying to get through the day. I'm putting out fires, and I'm trying not to be upset. And I go out at night and drink too much, eat shit, party too much, and it's just like reliving the same thing over and over. It's so easy for you to not pay attention to your body because I was just trying to ignore it, right? It's like I've gone out with stomach aches before, like heartburn, and I'm like I just feel miserable, and like everyone else is having a good time. It just seems like I'm the only one who's not feeling well. And so I'll order a couple of shots, I'll have a couple of drinks, and then by that time that like that tipsiness starts to hit me, then like all the pain subsides. And so I was like, well, alright, so let's just keep on doing this, right? It's just like this cyclical pattern of me just trying to ignore my body, trying to ignore my emotions, trying to get through the day, and then like eating like shit because at the time it's the only thing I can afford because of how I'm spending my money. All right, I think I have one more. What time is it? All right. This one's called Monsters. It takes place when I was a little kid growing up in Brooklyn. The dark never scared me. It was one place I felt safe. A boy can hide in the shadows and not be found. The night was when I could drift off into my sleep and dream of safer worlds. When I was a little boy, no older than 7, the darkness of my room protected me from the outside. I never understood how my friends were afraid of vampires and zombies. Werewolves can be stopped with silver, and you only really have to worry about them during a full moon. A seance will rid you of your ghost or invite one in, depending on what you read. I don't live by a lake, so why fear the Loch Ness Monster? I was ready for zombies. I'd outrun Jason, and Freddy couldn't even touch me in my dreams, because that's the only place where I was an X-Man and had all the powers I could ever imagine. Monsters gave me hope. All evil can be defeated with good. Darkness can be balanced with light. The one thing I couldn't fix, the only monsters you can't be saved from, with a cross garlic seance, were the ones that were right outside my window in my neighborhood. I'd lie in bed hoping for dreams or silence. It took me a long time to learn how to fall asleep through the chaos. Sometimes it would be a maniacal laugh outside my window, or the smashing of a glass bottle echoing through the alleyway. Sometimes the only noise was a thump on my ceiling. It was too persistent to ignore. Thump, thump, thump. Is my apartment door locked? Thump, thump, thump. It was no demon tapping on my walls, but a man running on my roof. Thump, thump, thump. Is he going to get into my house? Is he going to kill me and my family? Thump, thump, thump. All night until I finally nodded off. There were days when I didn't feel in danger but listened to people who were. Anne was a little 5-year-old Indian girl who lived next door to me. I was only 2 years older than her, but still cowered over her with my height. She spoke with no confidence while her eyes pointed to the ground. You had to lean in close to hear her uncertain whispers. But at night, her screams shook the thin walls of our apartment. Her room was on the other side of mine. They were long, scratchy, and piercing wails emitting deep from her throat. I listened to the smacks of the belt hit her bare flesh as she begged her father to stop. She pleaded with him until she was completely drained and her screams faded into whimpers. Sometimes real late at night, when most of the city had gone to sleep and the arguments outside had stopped, there was no one walking on your roof or any bottles crashing. You can still hear the faint sounds of sirens from afar. I listened closely, waiting for them to either fade or slowly get louder and louder until I knew danger was close. I know something terrible had happened near me. I'd roll out of bed on my hands and knees and crawl out of my room through the kitchen, looking closely at the ground around me to avoid the roaches. Sometimes unsuccessfully. I'd creep steadily to my living room window, so silently, most nights I didn't even wake my cat. I felt as if my life depended on my stealth, so when the floor creaked, when I moved too quickly, I stopped for minutes, frozen in place until I blended into the furniture. I wouldn't move until I knew it was safe. I'd peer out the window to see what was happening. At times, I'd only see a single police car, but on others, as many as 15, with police scattered everywhere and their guns drawn. Once I saw a man lying in his blood across the street. I watched through my window pass through the fire escape behind a parked car. I stared at his body, blocked slightly by a mountain of garbage bags. I waited for him to move. I needed to know if he was dead. I watched until the EMTs put him in the ambulance and left. I never did find out if he lived. My mom never spoke to me about stuff like that, and I was too afraid to ask. The gunshots were the worst, and stray bullets were a real threat. I remember first moving to our apartment after being homeless for a year. There was a bullet hole in the window coming from the outside. It was the only place we could afford, so Mom didn't like us near the windows because of it. It was real proof that terror could fly into your home like a witch and strip you of your soul. Anything and everything that was sort of loud was anything and everything that was sort of loud was a gunshot in our heads. Everything, whether it was a car backing up or a bus rolling over a metal plate on the street, all that registered was boom. You didn't think anything but gunshot, and you couldn't look out your window to find out. I'd stay low, watching TV, reading a book about maybe. I'd stay low, watching TV or reading a book about people facing all sorts of monsters, demons and ghouls, but always winning at the end. I think by now you've assumed the real monsters are us, the people in the street, the scary people on the news. Maybe you think there's a monster that dwells inside of all of us. I suppose I thought so too when I was a child and afraid of the outside. Eventually you grow up and socialize with kids in your neighborhood. After a while I realized those monsters outside my window were our older brothers, sisters, cousins, parents, aunts, and uncles. You make friends on your own and not just the children your parents bring over to the apartment. We all venture out and explore with our newfound freedom. It wasn't long until I was 15 in school and found myself on a roof with a couple of my friends in a 38. We were drinking 40s, smoking bud, and throwing our empty bottles down at the street to watch them explode off the concrete. We laugh as people jump out of fear and surprise. We were doing what kids have always done, everywhere. We were rebelling. We spoke about girls, sports, dreams, and aspirations. We all wanted to be rich and leave the city and have bigger and better things than what we've ever had known. Our parents either didn't care or were too caught up with too many jobs and mouths to feed. We were on our own and the world was ours to break. We tried to impress one another with crimes we committed, the drugs we did and sold. We told stories of fistfights and sexual experiences. We were young, stupid, naive. We drank, smoked, talked, and hung out until we were drunk, high, and bored. So then we took turns shooting Jay's gun into the night sky. We ran and hid and laughed and patted one another on the back. We spoke about it for days and bragged to our friends that weren't there. I had become what I used to fear. Maybe it's the curse of man, becoming the world you were born into. Maybe my room wasn't enough to protect me like I thought it was. I think about the countless nights I was on the roof while some kid listened to my footsteps. I wonder if he put the covers over his head when he heard my bottle crash into the street. I can feel him shake as the bullet exploded out of the barrel of my friend's gun. I pulled that trigger too. I caused his fear the same way someone had caused mine. I wonder if the person who walked over my roof all those years ago thinks of me now. I wonder if he ever feared the sirens on his street too. Am I a monster? Are we monsters? I don't think so anymore. Monsters should be killed or imprisoned. People aren't monsters. No, we were all once little kids scared of the world, and sometimes the only way we know how not to be afraid anymore is by embracing what you fear most. Yeah, I like this piece. I think I think the concept's good. I think the writing could be better. I think it needs a lot of editing. But this is like one of those things where like growing up, like those like the police helicopters flashing their light at my window, the footsteps on my ceiling, crashing of the bottles, the gunshots, the sirens, the little girl who would get beat every single night next door. Like, these are the things that kept me up at night. And I was introduced to horror films at a really young age, so those things intrigued me. They excited me. You know, I sort of wish they were real because of how easy those solutions were. And it's just ironic because, yeah, it was just maybe 7 years later, 8 years later. Now I'm the one who's probably scaring little kids who are trying to go to sleep because I'm doing the same exact things that used to terrify me, except from a different perspective. You know, just I'm not the one in bed anymore. And I think it's like, like nurture versus nature. My mom did her very best to protect me from these experiences. I mean, but like, there's only so much you can do. Like, she can't control the police helicopter. She can't control my outside environment. And then, because of those things are happening in my neighborhood, when I grew up in my neighborhood, I'm more susceptible to include myself in those activities and into those practices. I'm gonna work on this a little bit more. That is talking to yourself. Next week I'm gonna read a few other pieces. And reflect on how reflect on them. Melissa, if you're listening, I'm ready to come home. Come pick me up. I'm kind of buzzed. I'm Will. This is Talking to Yourself. See you guys next week.
boys and girls, children of all ages, today I get the pleasure of introducing you the one, the only, holy titted. He's a Vladdy. He's the daddy. It's the Vladdy Daddy. And followed up by the one, the only, the Sin City Vinny.
He's
It's
back.
Mr. Vinny. We're live on this version of Stoner Talk. But before we get into Stoner Talk, as the tradition goes, and I'll let you guys be, Vladimir, this is your first time ever not wearing a hat. What? Holy shit, you have hair.
Yeah, I know.
That was the #1 comment
Yeah,
from
you
earlier.
want some Parmesan cheese, Vinny?
I give you Vladimir and Vinny, everybody.
Woo!
How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing quite well. I have taken a little break from the cannabis consumption. I'm seeing through my fourth eye. Oof. And I will tell you one thing. I've been having some vivid ass dreams.
I've heard of the third eye, but the fourth eye?
Yeah.
You having some fourth eye dreaming going on?
No, you already know, Vinny. The worst type of fourth eye dreaming. Oof. And here we got Vinny, he's a stoner, so he's the stoner of the stoners, me being a little sober for a time being until when my life gets to that breaking point.
me being far from sober.
Yeah.
So yeah, tonight we wanted to talk a little bit about his experiences with not smoking weed, and then my experiences with pretty much being high 24/7 for the last 15 years. I mean, there's been some times where I wasn't, but yeah, I mean, I've lived quite the life, and I've damaged my body, and I mean, some of you know about what I've been through, and some of you don't. And anyways, it's hard to go through life sober for me right now. I need that good body buzz that takes away the pain. I like between like my TBI brain and my ADHD. I could be taking all sorts of pharmaceuticals and, dealing with all those side effects and stuff. But you can get many of the benefits of those pharmaceuticals by smoking weed. And so that's, I take care of my stuff more holistically. And so we've all kind of enjoyed our cannabis here, and Vlad wanted to take a chance here to talk about a tolerance break / weed was kind of getting in the way of a few things, and he just wanted to take some time sober away from the cannabis, and he wanted to share some of his experiences. And prior to tonight, he told me a little bit about some of his dreams and lucid dreaming that's going on, and he wanted to take a chance here to share some of that experience.
Of course. Honestly, what I've noticed is the minute I quit weed, I was able to articulate my words to the fullest extent. I was able to increase my speech speed by approximately 0.2%. I'm being bullshit analytical here, but at a sense, when you have for me personally, I noticed the drastic toll cannabis has taken on me, and I'm a young individual. I'm 25 compared to Mr. Boomer. I don't know what you would consider yourself, Vinny, but I respect you either way. I've noticed.
No, definitely not Boomer.
Okay.
No. I'm so I was born in 1988. I'm basically at like the very beginning stages of millennial, and you're at like the very end stages of millennial / Gen Z.
Oh, I'm gonna write that down. I don't even know that for myself, ladies and gentlemen.
So I like, you know, we're both kind of like, you know, we're 10 years apart. I'm 35, you're 25, and it's like I'm at like that first year of millennial, and you're at that like. So I'm at like that first year of millennial / whatever was right before millennial.
He experienced the amazing golden age of America during that time. I just finished. I'm like, damn,
I got to
bored.
experience Nickelodeon.
Yeah, dude. Can you believe this guy? Nickelodeon.
Adult Swim in its prime.
Adult Swim in its prime. I wanted to see Aqua Teen Force when there was.
He
Aqua
doesn't
Teen
know
Force.
who Quail Man is.
Quail Man. I wish I knew who Quail Man was because listen, Adult Swim
Because
has some
we're
interesting
Banging
cartoons.
on the trash can.
Me too.
We're banging on the street light. He doesn't know who Doug is.
Doug.
Do you know who Doug is?
Doug from Aqua Teen Force.
No.
Oh.
And we're not talking about Doug from The Hangover either.
You snapper. Oh my gosh, that was a
He
golden
doesn't
age.
know. He doesn't know.
I wish I knew because he got to experience an age where being high was perfect because you got to experience originality.
And you got to do it illegally.
Oh my god, the thrill of that, ladies and gents. Holy shit. I would imagine.
I mean, yeah, you know, there is something oddly satisfying about finding that, like, good smoking spot.
Yeah.
We're completely off topic right now, but let's roll with it.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, you know, finding that good smoking spot. Like, you know, I grew up in Wisconsin, and there was plenty of, like, nature trails and stuff everywhere.
Nature trails.
There's this one spot called, like, Bald Bluff.
I got ball blown
Excuse
about
me.
hands. That was a terrible joke. Proceed.
Anyways, yeah, you know, like Bald Bluff. You'd hike to the top of the bluff. You'd sit there and smoke a bowl, and then you'd hike back to the Stone Elephant.
Oh, there's a stoned elephant, ladies and gents.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's called the Stone Elephant,
Oh.
but you were on point though. We called it the Stoned Elephant, and we'd hike out there. We'd sit on the Stoned Elephant, and we'd get stoned. And then we'd hike back. We'd watch the sunset at the Bald Bluff.
That's
And-
the beauty of it.
Yeah, and so, you know, that's the recreational side of it, and just enjoying nature and enjoying life and enjoying cannabis. But on the other side of it, like, we have cannabinoid receptors in our brain. We have co-evolved with cannabis, and the fact that this plant has a laundry list of medicinal benefits, and then a laundry list of recreational benefits. It helps you connect to nature. It helps you connect to your spirit. It helps you connect to your soul. It's like, I understand that sometimes we need to take our tolerance breaks so that way we can continue to fully enjoy it. And then sometimes we're at a point in our life where we need a certain clarity that maybe some people can't get while consuming alcohol. You're trying to start your business, and you need a level of clarity that you can't get while consuming cannabis. So you're sacrificing the medicinal and recreational benefits of cannabis to get your business launched, and that's very respectable.
You see, ladies and gents, he summarized that quite well. I'm not gonna lie. Like, literally, Vinny, I'm gonna be honest. I miss smoking with you at all these amazing miscellaneous locations that we go to, man. And honestly, it's only been like 9 days, but out of sense, I'm like, man, I wish I could just go with Vinny to White Castle and like pig out on 50 fucking sandwiches, you know. I miss that, you know. But out of sense, I've noticed the drastic impact that it has taken on me. That I'm not smoking cannabis, and that I'm like, my body is urging for that amazing, beautiful smell of aroma, that nice sativa, the nice indica just hitting my bloodstream. But at a sense, I need them. As all good things must come to an end sometimes, just for the betterment of self-improvement, such as myself and my business and my brand. I want to be a reputable brand that focuses on professionalism, creativity, but at a sense where it's like it's linear. And cannabis, from my understanding and from what I've been experiencing, is it's been slowing me down. And the reason I've noticed memory loss, because I've been smoking so much that I realized, like, wow, man, I forgot it was my homie's birthday 3 days ago. I'm like, man, I really wish I would have done something about that, you know? And the way that I see it is, it's more beneficial for people who are up to that age, you know, over the age of 30. You know, me, I'm still developing at a sense. I'm 25, you know, and of course...
Let me add something to your backstory here.
All right.
I have ADHD. My mind goes at warp speed. I need to slow my mind down enough to get my thoughts organized. So what you're saying is you need your thought processes at a certain level, at a certain speed. Cannabis has been slowing it down too much. And that makes sense. Where you need to stop using cannabis to speed things up to get to this level, I need to use cannabis to get down to that level. I need to clear out all of the chatter. Like, try imagining taking a test, and the whole time you're taking a test, let's say it's a math section, it's a word story. Little Johnny has 5 apples, and then you're thinking about, oh, hey, my grandma just made this really awesome apple pie. And then you're thinking about the apple pie and how you can't wait for school to be finished because you really want to eat this apple pie, and the next thing you know, you're 20 minutes behind in this test. Because your mind just raced through this endless possibilities of apple pie and how your grandma or great grandma just made this apple pie, and you're waiting.
Ice cream on it too. Oh God,
man,
got me hungry. See this guy? But I could resonate.
Oh, and then if there is just like a beautiful, just nice slice of like 9-year aged cheddar on top of that.
What the?
Apple pie.
Yeah, that's his thing. See, cheese on pie, I think that should be illegal, but I think that's a Wisconsin thing, and I can't.
I think you shouldn't be able to make an opinion
No, you're right.
on sharp cheddar cheese on apple pie, amazing apple pie, until you've tried it.
He told me that there's chocolate cheese.
Yeah, they got like this like fudge brownie shit that's got like aged cheddar in it or something. I've never had it, but you know, yeah, they got all sorts of stuff.
Man, that's the wonder of it. You amplify your cravings. I mean, that's in my opinion. A lot of people are different when it comes to cannabis consumption. You know, it helps him. For me, I would say it's been slowing me down a little bit, but sometimes for me it's beneficial because I sometimes think a little too fast. That being said, you know, it's something that I just miss doing, you know, and of course I'm going to come back to it when I'm a little older because I feel like I want my brain to develop fully to where I'm able to memorize certain aspects of, you know, and I realized, I came to the conclusion that I want my brain to fully just to, like, those receptors in my brain, I want them to heal up a little bit because I've been taking dabs, edibles, smoking, blunts galore. Holy shit, the banana backwoods. Holy shit, you think I don't miss that? And the point being is, it's like, bro, you know, you're my smoking buddy, you know, buddy, you know, the Harold to my Kumar, you know, I want to eat 50 sandwiches, the Cheech and the Chong, you know, And at a sense, I'm still gonna come back to it. Don't get me wrong. I have this brand that I'm trying to start up, that I'm trying to work forward to, and I want people to see me as a professional figure when I'm running this brand. And I don't want them to be like, "Oh, dude, he's smoking a blunt while selling an electric skateboard." Like what? Like no.
Yeah. And like I said, like you gotta weigh the pros and the cons of the usage. And as much as I'm an advocate for usage, I'm also an advocate for getting your shit done. Don't make stoners look bad by not getting your shit done.
No, you're right. You're right on that for sure. But that's just me because I've been smoking way too much.
I believe I said it on the previous podcast. Like doing drugs for a little bit of fun is okay, but doing drugs to forget about the problem's not, because once the drugs are gone, the problem's still there.
And just wants more of it.
So if being sober gets the job done and gets you to solve the problem, so that way you can enjoy the cannabis later once the problem's solved, beautiful, perfect. That's the way it should be done. Now, someone like me, who has like a laundry list of aches and pains and ADHD, TBI brain, what have you, I use cannabis to get into the right mindset to solve the problem.
He's really good at that.
So like I said, you can't be using a substance to avoid the problem. It's like either use the substance to get in the right mindset to solve the problem, or don't use the substance to remain in the right mindset to solve the problem. But either way, you need to solve the problem first, and then you can have the recreation.
That's right. It's a form of discipline in my act. I want to make sure that if I have my giant ass warehouse with my MK3 robot cybernetic power unit module, I want to make sure that I have that squared away, and then I'm like, you know what? After 5 years or 10 years of developing this brand, I'm gonna smoke this backward.
You know what? Get your warehouse, get it set up, get your production models on the shelves, get them starting to sell. You know I'm going to be there, rolling you that Salvatore banana backwood with 7 grams and 0.3 to half a gram of fucking some concentrate in there. and we'll christen that bitch right. But until then, if you need to be sober to get the dream done, do it. If you need to smoke a little bit of something to get in the right mindset to get it done, let me know.
That right there, guys, is a good friend. Not a lot of that exists. So, honestly, like, the way that I see it is, have good buddies around you that's willing to support you within that endeavor of self-finding. There's a better word for that.
Self-discovery.
Self-discovery. There we go. And he's that homie. He's that homie that's like, yo, Vlad, I'm gonna be there, bro. And then the thing is, it's like, it's a big thing in this world, And honestly, it's one of those where it's like, I want to see it as that nice glass of scotch with one of those circular ice cubes that I could have after a hard day of work.
That after work drink.
That after work drink. I like to see it that way.
People like me, okay, I drink. I go out. I like to party. But I'm definitely more of a stoner than I am a drinker.
That is true. Very
And
responsible.
I mean, let's say 18 to 31. I was what you would call a heavy, habitual binge drinker. I drank a ton. And once I got the binge drinking out of my system, and just had like a different set of priorities at the time, I was able to just dial it back into like a casual drinking with friends when friends come to town and they want the Vegas experience. Yeah, I'll go out with them. But I mean, there's plenty of days and nights that I don't drink anymore. And I used to be a 7 days a week drinker.
It's more expensive to be a drinker.
I would have a mini fridge next to my bed so that I could wake up and crack a beer.
Hey, listen, I have a mini fridge near my bed. How do you know about my alcohol stash?
I'm just saying, I used to smoke in excess, and I've tried sobriety too. But, just like with my drinking and just like with my smoking, I've found that moderation, like I know my eyes are barely open.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And I'm a little buzzed up right now. I know. But this is also the first time you have all seen me with my eyes this closed. And
I thought you were sleeping. Oh, man.
But, it's like, I have my fun, but only after my responsibilities are taken care of. And sometimes I smoke to get my responsibilities taken care of, and sometimes I stay sober to get my responsibilities taken care of. And I've found that moderation and balance in my life. Like, the longer you listen to me talk, the more you hear me talk about finding a balance. You got a balance. And, you're doing too much drinking. You're doing too much smoking. You're doing just enough of both. Get your shit done. Have your fun. Find that balance.
Great way to put it, Vinny. Not gonna lie. The 50-50 rule, I don't know.
It doesn't even have to be 50-50. If you can party 60% of the time and then get down to business 40% of the time, I am an advocate of doing just enough business to maximize your fun. We are on this planet to have fun and live our lives and spread our seed and whatever you want to, our purpose on this planet is not to make some other asshole rich.
Technically, that's the way the world works, but
That's the way the world works. No, that's not the way the world works. That's the way that they've taught us that the world works.
Unfortunately.
Sacrifice just enough of your time, energy, brain power, heart, love, whatever you want to say. Sacrifice only what you have to live the way that you want to.
You're right.
Now, you're trying to start your own business. You're not trying to make some other asshole rich. You're trying to start a solar-powered electric vehicle empire to make the world a better place. Now that I could see devoting 60-70% of my time to, because you're making the world a better place. But don't be giving up your life to make some other dickhead fucking rich. Sacrifice just enough of your life to live your life.
That's a great way to put it. And smoking that weed, I would imagine, just helps alleviate that idea.
It allows you to think a certain way. Or like it numbs the things that need to be numbed, and it invigorates the things that need to be invigorated, and it just brings, I don't know. For some people, it makes them dumb. I'll admit it. I've seen some people who just get plain dumb on weed. And then there's some people that it unlocks corners of their brain that they couldn't reach without the cannabis. And those are the people who bring the genius, the beauty, the wonder, the art to our culture and our civilization.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Look at the arts district.
It's like, you know, there's a reason why people think that cannabis makes you dumb. It's because some people let cannabis make them dumb. And there's some people who have found a symbiotic, harmonious relationship with this plant. If you're religious, you could call it a gift from God. But this plant, that when you have a symbiotic, harmonious relationship with it, it allows you to reach these corners of your brain that just this genius and this beauty and this wonder that this world needs more of. So, yes, like you said, like some people it brings them down. Some people it unlocks doors that they couldn't unlock themselves. And so, you know, it's like, use the plant when you need to use the plant. Avoid the plant when the plant's getting in the way of what you need to get done. You need to find the balance.
When I get another major heartbreak, then maybe I'll switch back to cannabis. Because that's when it all started, honestly. I had my first heartbreak with a female, and I'm like, you know what? I just need to get out of it. Here it is. Felt better. I was like, all right.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That was just me. That was ages ago. That's when high school started. And then, let me tell you a little brief story of how that happened. I was in high school. This girl said yes. You know, I'll go out with you. And then she never showed up to prom. And I was the only one with the suit. And what happened was, my friend was like, hey, you know, you look down. Here's some weed. And I'm like, yeah, all right. That was the first time I ever smoked weed, was because of my first heartbreak. She's like, here, this is weed. I was like, okay. It felt amazing. It felt amazing. I was like, yo, go get pizza, man. I feel great. And that grew to the day that I'm at right now, the month that I'm at right now. Where I'm like, you know what? Let me try to wean myself off of it, see how I feel. It's a scientific experiment, after all, on my part, where I wanted to see how my brain and my physiology reacts after I quit a plant that I've been smoking for quite some time. And honestly, I've learned a lot. And the point was, it was a way to escape that feeling of like abandonment. Like, man, I was at prom and you just didn't show up, and I looked like an idiot in front of my friends while everybody had girls, you know. And I was like, that one homie saved my life. He's like, yo, beautiful Jay, you hold up a nice one. He's like, yo, let's smoke it in the back of the pier. It's pretty awesome. And
Well, that was kind of an example of using the plant as an escape from the problem.
yeah.
How'd you deal with the problem when you came back too?
What do you mean?
You used cannabis to escape the problem, but the problem was still there when you're done when the cannabis was gone, right?
Yeah, but then I had some very persuasive friends with some really good deals on cannabis, and I just
kept high.
I just kept being high, and it just like that feeling of like just like that numbness of certain neurons in your brain that make you upset, you know, just got numbified, and I'm just like, I was like living my best life, like making it, like just having a great time, and then it just sucked that happened because of that prom incident. It was prom, high school prom, is where it all started, my cannabis journey, because somebody didn't show up to the.
What was her name?
Ashley.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Are you still sad?
You know, I don't.
Did you hold on to this?
No, I didn't hold on to it, and I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, wow, dude, I used weed to to escape this one situation that made me
Do you
feel
have
like
anything
shit.
that you would like to say to Ashley right now?
Ashley, you're the reason.
Ashley,
Ash,
you are the reason. What are you the reason for, Ashley?
you're the reason for my. Of course, cannabis is considered a drug. For my drug use, because you did not show up to prom.
Don't,
Well, I paid.
Don't throw that on her. Just what
I
do you have
paid
to say to
$35 on this little American flower thing that everybody
the
brings.
corsage?
The croissant, and
And you didn't even get to put it on
I
her
didn't even
wrist.
get to put it on her wrist, and I rented out a suit for $130. The same money I worked for Petland Discounts, a Petland store that I loved that also got shut down. And I saved up all this money just to show you an amazing time, actually. And you kind of led me to this spiral of. I mean, honestly, I never really had a bad time with cannabis use throughout afterwards. You know, everything just smooth sailing. I still got job offers. I still did good at school. I still created prototypes.
So after you used it to help you get through the problem, you were able to find your balance afterwards with your consumption.
Precisely.
Okay, I see where you're getting at now.
Yeah.
I was a little confused there for a second.
Yeah, I don't mean to demonize weed, honestly. I love that shit, man. There's so many kinds.
So you used it to put yourself in the right mindset to get over the fact that you didn't show up.
Yeah.
Okay, because before you were kind of saying it like you were using it as an escape, but now you're saying, okay, I get it.
Yeah, see? So the point being is, this is more of a scientific experiment for me on how my brain would react and how I could, you know, the rejuvenization of certain neurons in the brain, because of course it's evident that that does happen once you quit weed. You know, certain neurons do rejuvenate and you're able to think more clearly, more responsively, you're able to articulate your words. I keep repeating that. And the way is, it's that's how I learn in a scientific manner. And I realize that once I open up my brand, I want to make sure that I have the proper mindset, you know, to be able to just skyrocket, because I was a pretty smart kid in high school. You know, I kind of dumbed myself down a little bit with cannabis. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I'm not demonizing. I love that shit. I don't repeat that enough. But I was doing really good at school, and the point is, it's just, yeah, it's one of those instances where, wow, you know, and I'm here in Vegas. I'm here in Vegas because of, I don't want to say because of weed, but like, I'm here in Vegas because I love this state. I love everybody around. I'm really chill. Not everybody, but like, I love this state. You know, I love the fact that there's all walks of life. I love the fact that everybody knows each other, you know. And I'm presented with a new environment that I can act like myself and surround myself with people that have their own idealism and perception of life. And it just really just helps really give me that peace of mind of just like, wow, I'm in this bitch. I'm in this bitch for a long time.
Are you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. With the right mindset, you could really get far. You could really get far. Surround yourself with good people such as yourself, Vinny, where I'm able to, at this time, at this date, speak out about why the way that I am today, and through a scientific analysis of me not smoking weed, and just providing you guys gradual insight of like why I am the way that I am, and what led me to that conclusion of giving myself a break, you know. And it's just wow. Just wow. And the thing is, honestly, it just changed my life. And you unlock certain neural pathways when you do quit cannabis. I don't want to call it cannabis. It sounds like a cop. What do the cool kids call it? Weed? It's called weed. When I quit weed and open up these neural pathways where I'm able to, like, yes, make a wise business decision. Yes, move into that right placement. Yes, go to that job that for still odd reasons still require you to weed, and here we are now. At this day where the person that I am today is through the experiences that I've put myself through to create my own conclusion and logical thesis of how I want to live my life and how I proceed to live my life through developing certain skill sets and being the person that I've always wanted to be, my high cannabis days of just daydreaming. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to be a billionaire while I'm smoking this juicy blunt. I'm going to be a billionaire, you know. I'm going to be that billionaire that's going to change the world for the better, you know. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to reach that goal. One being giving a break on cannabis, weed use. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is my TED Talk. You know, give yourself a tolerance.
Can you really?
Give yourself a tolerance.
Can you really
break.
use someone else's trademark?
I don't know. Give yourself a tolerance break. It really does justice.
Tolerance breaks are nice.
Tolerance breaks are nice.
Tolerance breaks are nice when you need them.
Imagine after a whole last month of not smoking weed, and you're like, you know what?
And after about 15 years of non-stop smoking, you definitely still get high.
Yeah.
But differently than when you first started smoking. Sometimes you need more.
Sometimes you need less.
I don't know about that part. But
We're not.
sometimes you need more, sometimes you need the same amount. But when you're not feeling it the same way as you used to, take a little break. If you're doing it too much, take a little break. Know you're coming back to it, but just take a little break. Tell yourself that when you come back to it, you're gonna get those giggles again.
Oh, the giggles. I miss those.
I miss the giggles.
Oh, man. And I've always wondered, it's like when I do find the love of my life, I want to make sure that my kids don't have the cannabis gene when we're producing. You know, it's like, yo, you know, I've always wondered that. Like, it has to affect some kind of reproductive organ or reproductive cell that, you know, diminishes a certain quality within a child. And that's something that's been not demonized, that's been something on my mind for quite some time.
That sounds like some quack science.
It's quack science. But, you know, me being...
We have cannabinoid receptors in our brain.
Yeah.
That means that cannabis consumption has been a part of the human race for long enough for there to be cannabinoid receptors in the brain. If cannabis use was going to have any negative implications on reproduction, it would have showed up a long time ago.
You're right.
I'm not saying smoke while pregnant. That baby needs every advantage it can take to develop properly. I don't suggest using anything while pregnant unless medically advised by someone that you have a certain rapport and trust with. But there also isn't enough medical research to know if it is beneficial or harmful in the reproductive stages. But that being said, let nature do things the way that they're supposed to. Don't be putting Yahtzee. What was that? Don't be putting stuff into your system when that baby's developing. There's a certain process and there's a certain order of events that needs to take place, and you don't want to get in the way of that. That being said, you know, a young child developing shouldn't be taking cannabis or alcohol or any sort of, unless medically advisable to be known to be safe. You know, whatever. You know, we're all developing. We develop till we're like 18 to 25. So you saying you need a tolerance break is is right in line with developmental. Like, you want to finish the developmental stages of your brain. So
Holy fucking shit, y'all are loud. God damn. Holy shit. I can't even hear myself talk in my brain before I say a statement. Hey. Shut up. Fuck. Fuck. Holy shit. Oh. God. Vinny, proceed. You had a very intricate point.
I think you need to bounce this one back.
Holy shit. My voice got deep. Now I can sound like Morgan Freeman.
Your balls dropped.
My balls dropped. Holy shit, my balls dropped. Mom! Dad! My balls dropped!
Oh, we got some banging going on.
I know. Long dick style. The point is, moderation. Same thing what we had in our previous episode. Moderation within cannabis. Moderation within talking. Moderation within cannabis use. Alright?
And so whether you need to take a break to come up to the level you need to, or you need to consume to get down to the level you need to whatever you need to do to maximize your efficiency, thought processes, and everything. You know, find your balance. Everybody's individualistic. Like, there's no cookie cutter answer for anybody out here. So just do what you have to do to find your balance to maximize and optimize your potential.
Holy shit, Vinny. That was a great way to summarize that. My God.
And I think
That's him on weed.
I think this is a good way for us to wrap things up. I know we kind of got started a little bit late.
Yeah.
And normally we end at 10:30, and it's 10:46 right now. But maybe we could get the Mad Hatter back over here to kind of wrap things up for us.
Yeah. You know, that would be cool if the Mad Hatter would come here and wrap things up for us, you know.
But he's a little bit busy over there.
Because, you know, let's do the cannabis dance. You know, and the productive dance.
We just doing random shit now.
Yeah, holy shit. Oh, the wife and kid. No, I'm joking. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, I might not be in the same mind frequency as Vinny here, because Vinny's doing a really great job articulating his words with weed. But, you know, that's Vinny. Vinny is pretty smart. He can roll a mean blunt. So, that being said,
My ability to roll a blunt judges my intellect?
I mean, you should see. I want to point fingers. I don't want to roast anybody. I can't roll. Every time I roll a blunt, it fucking opens up, and it's like.
What? You're trying to judge my intellect and my ability to roll?
I don't know. No, Vinny, you're very smart. I seen you do a backflip. Okay. So.
I can't do a backflip.
Yes, you did. I saw it. I saw it with my own 4 eyes. All right. So.
Whoa.
I really gotta use the bathroom. This is a chaotic show, and I love it because that's the way the world runs, right? Like, let's be honest.
Here's a toilet for you.
Oh, thank God. But the point is, you know, we live in such a chaotic time. We live in such a chaotic time. Okay. We live in such a chaotic time where the world isn't the way that it's always been. Things have been constantly changing for the betterment of humanity, or for the worse, through political conquests and money.
All right, so we are back in action to do our final send-off.
All right.
And so we're going to just reiterate that,
Hold on.
Oh, we got, what's going on?
Well, can I at least fix my hair?
Hey.
He's got a bird on his hat. He does it first. I look like a Karen Hitler. Wow.
So what are we doing?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in here at the DTLV Good Buddies cannabis side of things. I'm your co-host, Vladdy Daddy, fresh and fatty. I don't know what I said. Many blessings to you and your family. Jesus loves you. Don't smoke and drive, and don't drink and drive, but most importantly, don't drink and drive. Vinny just took a big ass puff. Do you guys see the smoke? Are you guys able to see that? It smells like Fruit Loops, Vinny. Oh my god, Vinny. Lord. That smells so good. My god. Look at this.
What has happened? I think the train is derailed worse than the one in Ohio.
Man, I look like a trail derailment. Are you kidding me? Like, look at this. I didn't even get my hair. Look, I'm spreading Parmesan cheese on Mad Hatter's casting couch. Like, thank you so much for having us. Thank you for dealing with our just creativity of what we can do and what we can accomplish. Because this is America.
Welcome to the shit show. Thanks for showing up. Have a great night.
Bye.
Oh, and in case anybody was wondering,
Yeah.
that is the sofa where I bring all the fangirls for the casting couch.
Oh Lord. Boing. No, Vinny, I want to go